Okay, so moving to 2016, what is the difference between diminishing returns and decreasing returns to scale? Now, what is diminishing returns? Diminishing returns is in the short run. What happens? In the short run, when you keep on increasing your variable input, what happens? The marginal product and average product starts to fall. That is what you call diminishing return. This is the second stage in the law of diminishing marginal return. So you can say in this stage, total product is increasing at a slower rate, right? Marginal product is falling. You can even say average product is falling. Yeah, you can explain that. 2 marks. Then what is decreasing return to scale? Decreasing return to scale is where when the firm is in the long run, when it increases its inputs, its output is increasing by a lesser percentage, right? That is what you call decreasing return to scale, right? In the long run, when you increase input, right? You increase your input, but your output increases, right? Your output, okay, I'll not put these things. Output increases a very little. That's what you call decreasing return to scale. And what are the reasons? Remember, the reasons are problems associated with coordinating, stress, depreciation of factors, right? All of those are reasons that you can give. So 2 marks about diminishing returns, 2 marks about decreasing returns to scale. Is that okay? Can you all handle? Not that bad. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then the next one. Explain the relationship between marginal cost and average total cost. Remember, I told you marginal cost and average variable cost. Oh, you can even go with average total cost also, perfectly fine. So what is the relationship, guys? This is a very simple one, right? We did this, I think, in the fast track class also. Okay. So you have your marginal cost. That is your marginal cost, the Nike shaped one. This is your average variable cost, right? This is your marginal cost. You can either take AVC or you can take average total cost. That's okay, right? Most correct is AVC, but even average total cost is fine. No problem at all. So what is your relationship? The relationship is very simple, right? This is divided into 3 parts, right? I'll divide it like this, okay? In the first side of it, okay, when the marginal cost, right? When marginal cost, look at the 2 curves, guys. When the marginal cost is less than the average total cost, what is happening to average total cost? When the marginal cost is less than the average total cost, what is happening to the average total cost? The average total cost is what? Average total cost is decreasing, right? That's point number 1 in the relationship. See, as long as MC is less, see, in the first side of the diagram, in the left side, marginal cost is below the average total cost. So as long as marginal cost is below average total cost is decreasing. Okay. Then look at the second side of this diagram. The second part of this diagram is where when the marginal cost is greater than the average total cost, right? Then what is happening? The average total cost is increasing, going up, right? That is your second point that you need to write. And then what's the last point that you will be writing? The last point that you will be writing is this. Now, this is the second point. The last point is this, right? When marginal cost equals average total cost, when MC equals ATC, right? You can say ATC is at its lowest. When MC equals ATC, ATC is at its lowest or is at its minimum point. Is that fine, guys? These are the points that you have to write. Don't write in point form. Write it in a sentence. For example, when marginal cost is less than the average total cost, the average total cost of the firm will decrease. That's point number one. This green color point, it's I have highlighted. So write that in sentence form like that. Are you all okay with that? That's the relationship between marginal cost and average total cost, right? Okay. So we'll move to the next question. Give me a second. Okay, so going to the next one, the concept of producer surplus, economic surplus, and economic rent. Now, this is the first time we are seeing this question. Okay, the next question also we have seen price taker, and this also I'll show you all. Okay, but we'll talk about this producer surplus, economic profit, and economic rent. Guys, what is producer surplus? Producer surplus, we say, is the difference between what? Difference between the minimum price the producer expects, right? The producer expects and the price received in the market. No, the minimum price the producer expects and the price that is received in the market. That's what you call producer surplus. Now, if you look at this, okay, this is your supply curve, this is your demand curve. Based on this, you have this. So which area is total revenue? Total revenue is this, right? This is total revenue. The minimum price the producer expects is what? The minimum price he expects is this, right? That is what is that? That is also called the total variable cost. Remember this purple shaded area is called what? This purple shaded area is called the total variable cost. So that is the minimum price the producer would expect. But what does he actually get? He actually gets that blue box. So the difference between this and this blue shaded area is what you call producer surplus. Then what is the difference between producer surplus and economic profit? Yes, here for producer surplus, you can also say it's total revenue minus total variable cost. Yes, economic profit. In economic profit, right? This is producer surplus. Yes, economic profit. Economic profit is total revenue minus total opportunity cost, right? Total revenue minus total cost. So in other words, total revenue minus total variable cost and the total fixed cost also. So can you see there is a small connection here? Now, in your year, they can ask you distinguish between, right? Distinguish between producer surplus and economic profit. Producer surplus is total revenue minus total variable cost. The purple shaded area in my diagram. But economic profit is total revenue minus everything, minus the variable and the fixed cost. So if they ask you what is the difference between producer surplus and economic profit, it's that fixed cost component. Yeah. So you need to highlight that. So talk about economic profit. And what is economic rent? Now, economic rent is for a factor of production, right? Now, producer surplus and economic profit, that is for a firm, okay, or one producer, one individual producer, one individual firm. But when you say economic rent, that is for one factor of production. So remember what is economic rent? Economic rent, I have a nice answer, so I'll copy and paste, right? The surplus earned above the minimum payment for whom, guys? Above the minimum payment expected by a factor of production. So the minimum payment that a factor of production expects is his opportunity cost. Now, for example, I'll tell you this way. Let's say I am going to teach for 1 hour, right? I'm going to provide my labor for 1 hour. The minimum that I'm expecting to provide my labor for 1 hour is, let's say, 1,000 rupees. Because if not for this, I could have somewhere else, I could have earned 1,000 rupees. So the minimum that I'm expecting is 1,000 rupees. But let's say I do an individual class and I earn 2,500 rupees, let's say. So which part is my economic rent? 1,500, right? I minimum expect 1,000, but I earn 2,500. So what is that surplus that I'm earning? What is the excess that I'm earning? 1,500. That is what you call economic rent. So you need to explain these three. Is that okay, guys? Fine. Produce a surplus, economic profit, and economic rent. Yeah. Now we'll go to the next. Why will a firm in a perfectly competitive industry not choose not to charge a price either above or below the market price? So you can start off your answer by saying a firm in perfect competition is a price taker. In other words, they have a perfectly elastic demand curve. So you start off your answer like that. If you want, draw a small diagram and show also, no problem. Then next paragraph talk about why will they not charge a price higher than this? Why, guys? Why will they not charge a price above? Why not above? Why can't they charge a price above the prevailing price? Let's say the prevailing price is 100 rupees. Why can't they charge 120 or 130 or whatever, right? Price taker fine, but why? Because the reason is, right, that consumers would then switch to the other substitute, right? Remember now, here, there are large number of them. There are so many substitutes. Now, if you take paddy, there are so many farmers. Everyone is selling the same thing. So therefore, the price in the market is 100. So if you charge 120, will anyone buy from you? No. So if you charge even a little bit more, because there are large number of sellers, someone soon would go for someone else. So consumers would switch to the other substitute, right? And no consumer, right, would purchase from the firm charging a higher price. Is that clear, guys? Why they won't charge a price that is high? Yes. Okay. Then why won't they charge a price less than this? Why not below? Why aren't they now charging a price below this now? Above it, if they charge, for example, they can't, no one will buy. But why will they charge? Why will they not charge below? That's the good question. Think properly. What is this perfectly elastic demand curve telling us? Perfectly elastic demand curve is telling us, right, at this price, you can sell, not that others will reduce also, guys, right? At this price, you can sell any amount of units, right? Now, this is the demand curve, no? Yeah. At this price, you can sell any amount. You want to sell 10 kilos of rice, fine. You want to sell 20 kilos of rice, fine. You want to sell 30 kilos of rice, fine. You want to sell 40, fine. You want to sell 50 kilos of rice, fine. Okay, tell me, guys, why does a firm reduce price? They reduce price to increase their quantity demanded, right? So that people would demand for their product more. But looking at this demand curve, for them to demand more, do you have to reduce the price? No, right? What does a perfectly elastic demand curve tell us? A perfectly elastic demand curve tells us that the firm is able to supply any reasonable quantity at the prevailing price. So they can sell 10 units, 20 units, 30 units for, because there is a demand. There are a large number of buyers and sellers. So you can sell any amount, any reasonable amount, not infinity. So you can sell any reasonable amount at this prevailing market price. So if I can sell any amount of kilos at the price of 10 rupees, why will I reduce my price? Why? If I can now, for example, okay, currently I am having, I am selling, let's say I'm a paddy farmer, I am selling 100 kilos of paddy at the price of 10. Maybe if I grow a little bit more paddy, right, 200 kilos of paddy also I can sell at the price of 10. 300 kilos also I can sell at the price of 10. So as a farmer, why should I reduce my price? If I can sell any amount of kilos at that prevailing market price, practically think, why? You don't have to, right? You can sell that any amount at that price itself. So why are you mad? Right? If I can get any amount of students at the price of, let's say, 4,000 for a month fast track fee, why will I reduce my price and give? Am I mad? No, same thing, right? So why not below? And also you can connect this with this, right? Now, remember, in the long run, they will be making normal profits. Yeah. So this is the average cost. Now I'm hoping you all know these diagrams, right? This is the price. So they'll be making a normal profit, the average revenue also, right? They'll make a normal profit. So in case they go and charge a price lesser than that, then they'll be making losses also. So you can highlight that as well. So why not below? Because they can sell, right, any reasonable quantity at the prevailing price, and there is no need, right? There is no need to reduce the price. No need to reduce the price to increase the quantity demand. And you can also say, in addition to this, reducing price will decrease their profits. Therefore, there is no need for them to go and reduce the price. Is that clear? That's why they will not sell below also. They will not sell above also. Given that they're a price taker, they will sell at this exact market price. Is that fine? Okay. Any question? Right. Last question for the day. This one, guys, is an easy one. This looks hard, but I'll show you this is an easy question as you can get. Right? I will show you the steps also. Read the question with me. The following diagram shows demand and cost curves of a firm operating in a perfectly competitive market. Calculate the profit earned if the market price is 160. The first thing that you have to find is, right, when you get a question like this, to calculate the profit, you have to find how many units are they producing. Because to find profit, you have to get total revenue. What is total revenue? Price into number of units. To find the profit, you have to get total cost. That is average total cost into the number of units. So first step, right, whenever you get a question, is to find, right, find how many units are they producing. Now in this question, guys, can you tell me how am I going to find this? Is the firm producing? Remember, guys, the firm always produces. To find how many units, you go with the profit maximizing rule, MR equals MC. The firm always produces at MR equals MC. So if they have not given you, you have to find where MR and MC is equal, and then you have to find the number of units. So here they are saying price is 160. So what does that mean? Here 160 here. So this is your price, right? Here the blue line that I'm drawing, it's not the most straightest of lines. Okay. So this is your marginal revenue equals average revenue equals price. So where is your MR equals MC point then? This is MR, this is MC. It is over here. So at this MR equals MC point, see how many units are they producing? They are producing 40 units. Because if you get that wrong, whole question is wrong. Is that clear? The first thing that you have to find is how many units are they producing. If they have given the number of units, fine, then no problem. But if they have not given, you have to use the MR equals MC rule and you have to find it. They have given the price is 160. So that means the marginal revenue is 160. Yes, 50 is wrong, right? Marginal revenue is 150. So then where is MR equals MC? That is over here. So at that point, you're producing 40 units. So now at 40 units, can you tell me how much is the total revenue? Total revenue is how much? They will give you the price. Either price or quantity has to be given. Otherwise, you can't find. How much is the total revenue? Total revenue is average revenue multiplied by the quantity, or the price multiplied by the quantity. So how much is the price? 160. How much is the quantity? Quantity is 40. So 160 into 40 is how much? 160 into 40 is 6,400. Right. Then how much is the total cost? Total cost is average total cost multiplied by the quantity. So now how am I going to find that? Now you have to read the graph, guys. How do we read graph? At 40 units, how much is the average total cost? See, at 40 units, I'm drawing a line, my red line. See, I'm drawing. The moment I come to average total cost, I stop and I connect it onto this side. So how much is my average total cost? At 40 units, it's how much? It's 100, right? So then how much is my total cost? Average total cost is 100. Number of units is 40. So how much is my total cost? Total cost is 4,000. So can you tell me, if you have not fallen asleep, how much is my profit then? If my revenue is 6,400, then my cost is 4,000. How much is my profit? I have a profit of 2,400. Right. That is also done. Is that okay, guys? Can you all handle a question like that? Profit turn by giving a diagram. The most important thing is finding where MR equals MC and finding that quantity. If you don't find that, you get the whole thing wrong. Okay. Right. The next one is, what is the shutdown price? So shutdown price is the minimum average variable cost. So where is that? So AVC is this. No? So that is this, right? It is the minimum AVC point. So shutdown price is 40. There is no explanation or anything to give. They're simply asking what is the shutdown price. So you, if you want, you can say rupees 40, and in addition to that, you can say it is the minimum point of the average variable cost. So that's all that you have to get. Is that okay? Step 2016 question. Done, and done. Okay, so questions are not that hard. Next class, we'll move to the 2017 and we'll try to finish off all of this. But I'll just show you guys the 2017. Now I'll tell you this will be the year that I did A levels. Now see how many questions are repeated. Right, you will understand why I did this question when I did. How does the law of diminishing returns relate to the shape of the short run curves? Was that repeated? It was, right? Remember marginal cost and marginal product, average variable cost, average product, right? The mirror image story, that one. Then next one. What happens to the difference between average variable cost and average total cost? Remember, the difference between average total cost and average variable cost is the average fixed cost. No, the more and more you produce, it reduces. I'll explain that next class. Okay. How would each of the following affect? Very simple again, right? State two differences between perfect competition and oligopoly, right? I don't think that's even a question to worry about. Last one, distinguish between normal profit and abnormal profit. Again, very simple. So those are the questions that was there in the 2017. We'll discuss next class, right? So with that, we'll wrap things up. If anyone has questions, you can stay and clarify. See you all. Bye-bye.